Hey, peace everyone. How are y'all doing today? How are y'all doing on this wonderful, beautiful day? It is Smart Video Girl here. It is another beautiful day, and it is introducing the pod class. I want to thank you for being here today. Things look different. All types of things are different today, all right, including my hair, the setup, the screen, everything. That's because today I really just, it's going to be a great topic. So we are talking about, I'm going to bring that up. Let me get out the way. Let me get out the way. All right. Healing while leading. That is today's topic. Healing while leading. All right. And I just want to take a moment to breathe, and just be present to this moment. Introducing PODCLASS this semester, the whole year, we have been working on self-mastery, and that has been the topic. And in this moment, in the first half of the season, again, we talked about really getting in touch with our feelings and who we were and all of the good things. And then to the evolution of who we were becoming, right? We were examining who we were becoming, right? We were, in essence, healing, right? Healing, remembering who we were, okay? And in this season, we are strengthening that, okay? We are evolving in our growth, because as you can see, growth season has started. That's what this second part of the semester is. It is all about growth, okay? And today's episode is about healing while leading, okay? Because this is going to get really deep. So I want us to always be present. Thank you guys for joining us today. Thank you for being here. This one is heavy for me. This topic is personal for me. So bear with me today, people. All right. So healing while leading. All right. Tonight's intention, is I intend today, breathe. I intend to heal without hiding. Maybe I should have brought tissue to this class. Grow without pretending and lead without performing perfection. That is tonight's intention. So, maybe I should have brought tissue to this class. Maybe I'll do that during the musical therapy session. Okay. All right. And so, we're going to start with this because this is really how you really start to grow and break through and start to bloom and blossom, because you were becoming a new version of yourself and you're learning about yourself. So you have to be present to what we're talking about here, because in this healing process, right? Who said that you couldn't lead, right? I struggle with this. This may be the class for just me. Maybe I'm talking to myself today. Maybe I'll be talking to myself today, and that's okay, right? And so who told you the leader had to be healed first? Nobody. Who said that? Nobody. I don't believe that to be true. This is something that I personally struggled with myself, because it was like, how do I teach a pod class? How do I conduct a pod class, right? So I want to be present to this, because we are all healing. And we are all at different levels, and that is part of the process and part of the journey, okay? So look, I'm going to get into this musical therapy right now, before we get into this topic, which is, again, I'll run it back, healing while leading. And who told you that the leader had to be healed first? Nobody is perfect, okay? And again, just to remember tonight's intention is to heal without hiding, grow without pretending, and lead without performing. I'm going to get into this musical therapy, and then I'm going to come back, and then we're going to get into this topic. All right, so bear with me, because again, we're doing new things, and literally on the fly I got to change my screen because I'm doing some different things with y'all today. So bear with your girl for 1 second. Okay, all right, let's get it, y'all. See what I just did? That's what I'm talking about. All right, we're going to get into it right now. I am divine. That was our musical therapy for the day. I may not be perfect, but I am divine. That is the musical therapy for today. So let's get into this, y'all. Let's get into this. Today's topic, again, is healing while leading. All right, healing while leading. And our intention, just one more time, is to intend to heal without hiding, grow without pretending, and lead without performing perfection. So y'all gonna see it all today, because I just don't have it. I don't have today. I don't have it today. All right. So who told you the leader had to be healed first? Please sit with that. Who told you the leader had to be healed first? That is the question that we are addressing today. And let's do that. All right. So healed versus healing, right? Healed versus healing. A lot of times we want to be healed, but the growing is healing is growing. Healing is growing. Healed says I'm finished. And one of the things that we know is that there is no completion in this process. You are forever growing. You are forever evolving. You are never finished. You are never healed. Okay? Because life is like, oh, you're done? You got more? So there's always something to be learned in life. There's always something to be learned about life. So you are never, it is of my belief that you are never healed. You are never finished. Okay? You are always healing. I'm actually working through it as you are growing. Because a tree continues to grow until you chop it down. You know, it may slow grow, it may regrow, it may purge. We talked about the growth process. So it's never in a final form. It's always evolving. So it may not be growing out the ground anymore, and the trunk may be solid, and some of the branches may be good, but some of the branch might fall off, or the leaves and things. So that is healing. Okay, we are never healed. We are always healing. All right. And so, that's the case, then you are all leaders. We are all leaders in our own right. Okay. And you can lead from healing without pretending to be healed, pretending like you got everything together. I.e., why today is a very, very, very special day. Because that is the energy that I am in. Personally. So this resonates with the growth process, because you have to become a leader of yourself. Okay. You have to become a leader of yourself. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. All right. So the wounded healer. Okay. Let's look at this, because this is really important for us to examine. I want to take a good look at what the wounded leader looks like. Okay. And how we have to be mindful. This is where the work, if you are leading, if you are working on yourself, and if you are at the next level of being a leader of yourself, you have to be able to recognize the difference in what we're going to look at. So this is the wounded healer. Unexamined wounds can become leadership behaviors if we don't examine them, right? So if you have fear of rejection, you are a people pleaser. And you may lead that way. You may feel as though you have to accommodate people in your leadership skills. That's even in yourself. Your fear of failure is perfectionism. The fear of abandonment is control. The fear of abandonment is control, and people, and especially in relationships, control is a big issue. And so we have to be mindful of this in how we are leading. If we are wounded in ourselves, then we lead this way. And it could be ourselves and others. Okay. So we have to be mindful of this. So feeling unseen is a constant need for validation. Okay. That's your wound. If your wound is feeling unseen, you have a constant need for validation. You're always looking for someone to see you. Okay. And that's how you're going to lead. Okay, past betrayals is difficulty trusting. Insecurity is micromanaging. You want, how is that showing up? How are you present to that? Let this be, because again, we are examining and we are looking in the mirror and looking at ourselves and seeing how we are leading ourselves. How are we leading? How are we showing up? Okay. All right. So, let's see. Sometimes what we call leadership is actually survival strategies with the, with authority, and we talked about that. Survival strategies are minds, right? We talked about being in that high beta. We are constantly looking for the shoe to fall off, right? So how can you lead if you're constantly looking for the shoe to fall off? So again, these are some of the things. So if we're not careful, this can show up in our leadership style, okay? And we're not just talking about leading other people. We're mostly talking about self leadership here. Apply this leadership to self, okay? All right. So, how do we do that though? What does this look like? What does that look like? Smart video girl. I need some more water. Healing while leading is the awareness, right? So that's what we were talking about. Everything that was just on the previous slide, we have been working on. You guys have been in class. You have been present and aware. You have done your homework. You have done your reflection. You have done your self-work. You've taken your quizzes, and you are aware. So you're healing. You feel, right? We've talked about all of these transitions. This is how you go from knowing to doing. Knowing what to do and then doing it, and doing it for yourself first. This is what we're talking about. This is the bridge of implementing that. So you notice, that's the awareness. You notice how you feel. And then you get to choose, right? Emotional alchemy. You get to choose how you feel. So you're not operating from fear of rejection and fear of loss. You're not operating from fear, period, right? So that takes care of 1, 2, 3, 4, and the first 4. All right. And then you process, you question, something happens, you learn to process, you question what is happening. This is something I've just recently been talking about. When you question, you have to answer. And I did a live about this, and at the time it was personal, but it has grown into something that is really definitely universally true, which is we don't ask or answer questions. And if you see it, that's in the awareness. We don't ask or answer questions. And that is part of how you heal into leading yourself to become self-aware. You have to question yourself. Again, last week, if you were over there, you saw that you had to question, is this something that is happening right now? If you don't question that, then you're just operating on autopilot. So in that awareness, this is how you process those feelings. You have to question it. And then you can respond appropriately, not react. Okay? This one is a good one. And so this is release. So in the healing process, a part of healing is releasing. Releasing how you feel. In healing, you have to get it out. That's what they tell you. You cannot keep it in. You have to transmute it or something. You got to do something with it. You can't let it be what it is. So you have to release it. And when you release it, then you get to see it for what it is. You get to reflect upon it. Okay? You get to reflect upon it. And once you have reflected upon it, you know it, now you can communicate it. As a leader, you can communicate your boundaries. You can communicate how you feel. You can communicate in a relationship, because you have released those feelings, you reflected, you know how you feel, you've processed and questioned, and so you can communicate, right? And then the last one is restore. So, and this growth process in the healing, we are remembering who we are, right? We are remembering who we are. So we are restoring to our original truths, right? The truth of my being is eternal. We are restoring ourselves. And in restoring, we are realigning, aligning with your authentic self so that you can serve in purpose. Go back and look at the purpose episode. In, for, on purpose, on something like that. In, on, for purpose. This is the same thing. So this is how we bridge the information that we gathered. We have to notice how we're feeling, question those things, reflect upon them so that we can realign. Okay, and this is self-awareness. This is the bridge that breeds self-awareness, right? Self-leadership. So we want to really take note on this, because this is how we move again from knowing to doing. Knowing to doing, the awareness. And we have awareness because we did that first quarter, the first half. We did that first semester. We became aware. So now we can notice, we can question, we can reflect, and we can realign ourselves. We can get it together, girlfriend. Get it together, girlfriend. Talking to myself. All right. So trigger or truth. And this is important because we got to look at all of the things. Okay. Who said the leader had to be healed? Because who said that you would never be triggered ever again? And if you ever were triggered, that means that you can never lead. Who said that? Who said that? Who told you that? Where's that perfection? That's what the perfection is, right? That's why we got a lot of people out here pretending. Because you have to, because if they're not pretending, if they're not perfect, then nobody's going to listen to them. But the fact of the matter is that's because they want something real. They want something fake. They don't want something real. That's all I got to say. I'm just, okay. Anyway. So this is about what is happening, right? Going back to beta, going back to that hyper vigilant, that hyper awareness, that shoe gonna fall off. Oh my gosh. They just boo-boo, just whatever just happened. I'm triggered. Pause. That was your pause. Right? So we got event, reaction, pause. Investigate. What does this remind me of? What is this? What is it? The truth? What is this really about? And I know again, but we have to ask ourselves the right questions. What does this remind me of? What is this? Why am I triggered by this? So, again, and is this experience happening to me right now? Or is it just the remembrance? Is it just the residue of it? And then you can move forward. You can regulate. You can move out of beta and bring yourself down. This is how you get out of beta. You lead yourself out of beta. Self-leadership. We're going to take ourselves out of beta because we've been there so long, but we didn't even realize it. So now we have to walk ourselves out of it. This is how we do it. These are the questions that we must ask ourselves. All right. So, more in depth. So, because we can look at this all day, but what are some triggers? A trigger may reveal, what they reveal really is something unreleased. Remember, heal, we got to release it. A trigger may reveal that there is something that needs to be released. It may be a boundary that needs to be put in place. It may be a fear, a undercover, a deep down 911 feeling that you have down that you didn't notice. It may be a belief, an expectations. That's a good one. It may be an expectation. And then, you got to examine that. What is this expectation coming from? You got to ask yourself these questions. Or past experience, all of the things. Because if it's an expectation, did you communicate it? These are the types of questions you have to ask. Was it communicated? Was it agreed upon? Is it real? All those things. And to even say, is it realistic? That's between A and B. You know what I'm saying? Whatever that is. So, but was it communicated and was it agreed upon? Then if we're not doing that, then you're triggered for something else. And you have to figure that out. Investigate it. What is the truth of what is really happening right now as to why you feel the way that you feel? And again, so leading while healing, this is about leading ourselves in truth about how we show up. Okay? And we're going to delve more into that. You'll see more how it's about how you show up versus leading other people. Okay? A trigger gives you the information. It's up to you to decide. That's the leader in you. You get to say, okay, no, or yeah. Because leaders get to make decisions, and you are a leader, and you get to lead yourself. Yes. So listen, oh my gosh, I forgot. I gotta wrap this up soon, but I do have some time because right after this, just a little plug, I am going to be jumping over to Pronoia to get myself my name. The numerologist, Mr. Westbrooks, is going to break down my name and all of that good stuff. So, I don't know why I do this to myself and overbook myself, but Wednesdays, it's podcast day, clearly. So right after this class, I'm going to be jumping over to Pronoia. So you can join me over there as well. But we're going to keep talking about this here, triggers and truths in self-leadership. Okay. So the next concept is, because leadership, self-leadership, and I said earlier, I do not have the capacity. Right? I said that today. I said that earlier. I do not have the capacity today. So capability versus capacity. And this is very important. This is the message that I have been getting. And this is how we keep ourselves, especially Black women, especially us lovely, beautiful Black women. I'm talking to y'all right now. This is how we keep ourselves in high stress. Because we are capable, honey. We are capable. Can I do it? Yes, I can. Okay? I can do it. Should I be doing it? Do I have the capacity to do it? Hell no. And we don't do the hell no part. I don't have the capacity today. I don't have it. I have recently gotten to that point where I can communicate that I do not have the capacity in this moment to do whatever it is that needs to be done, either because of emotional energy, as you can see, physical energy, or mental bandwidth. Okay? Chris, Smart Video Girl say, no, I can't. I do not have the capacity to do that today. But I am very capable. And I know that. And my capability has nothing to do with my capacity or my ability to do anything. That is not it. That is not it. But when you are able to lead yourself, you are aware, right? because capability says that I can do it. I got the skills. You know, I'm competent. I'm smart video girl. Of course I could do it. I'm capable of doing anything I set my mind to. That's me. And you know, everybody has the capability. They know their capabilities, but do you have the capacity? And as you lead yourself, you have to have the capacity to lead yourself to show up again. This is what I've been saying. How are we showing up? How are you showing up in the relationship, in the situation, in the environment, in whatever it is? How are you showing up? And that's capacity. And to be able to lead yourself and be able to be aware of that, to communicate that in space, that's self-leadership. Okay? That's self-leadership. So you have the capacity to do something and still not have the emotional, right, physical, mental, or time capacity to do it right now. And I do that. I will let you know, because I already told y'all today I don't have it. Doesn't mean a thing if you ain't got the go-go swing. You hear me? And I'm the strong one. So we need to look at this. And I put this one in here because it resonates. Again, I said this class may be for me. This PODCLASS may be my PODCLASS, and that's okay, because sometimes the teacher needs to teach herself. Self-leadership. That's what we're talking about today. Because again, who told you that the leader needed to be healed? Okay. Nah. So the strong one, but I'm the strong one. And this is very personal to me. Like I said, I should have brought my tissues to class today. I still didn't get them. But this is a personal one for me. This one resonates with me so much. And so when I have very deep emotions, you know, when I have my emotions, I let them go because I hold so much. I hold a lot. And so I have to, I don't want to be no. Let it go. So like today I was like, I'm not happy. I said this. I said, I'm not happy. And he was like, yes, you are. I said, no, I'm not. I'm not happy. You're not going to, it's like, and that's okay. Right? Because I don't have to be happy all the time. You know what I'm saying? Nobody has to be happy. You don't have the capacity to be happy all the time. That is actually, I'm sorry. That I just don't believe we all have the capacity to be happy all the time. Call me crazy. But strong people, right? And that you can see they are the fixers, the dependable ones, the problem solvers, the listeners, the providers, the ones who get everything. And then the question I have is, who holds that person? Who does that person lean on? And so leadership requires receiving too. And that is why this was resonated with me so much, because I know that I am a strong one. You know what I'm saying? I've even had the conversation with someone about not wanting to be called that, because who wants to carry all that weight all the time? Who wants to do that? Raise your hand. Right. Nobody got that. So who wants to be that person all the time? Right. For so many people. And you have to know when you have the capacity or not to deal with, because I already told you, smart video girl is capable, but she just does not have the capacity. Today, I just don't have the capacity. Today's one of those days I just don't have the capacity. So even showing up today is me healing the intention for the day, healing in real time. Again, yeah. So you do not have to be finished to be effective. And that is for all of us. That's for everyone. But again, I think this was a PODCLASS for me. So I'm going to take this one. But you do not have to be finished to be effective. Okay? I'm going to play a song and I'm going to come back.
No lie, this morning woke up kinda heavy. Thoughts flooded my brain, almost broke a levee. Let me get steady, let me center myself. Before I do for anybody else, let me consider myself. Check my mental health, self. How's your heart? How you feeling today? What's your capacity for humans? What's your ceiling today? Before you think about them bills, what you building today? Find your flow, don't let them stones they throw get in your way. Weights on my shoulders, let me go to the gym. Let me dig in a good book. Let me find me some gems. Let me replant myself, yeah. Let me water my stem. You lay my root chakra. I know that it's been running on E. I've been fuming. Know the vibes golly. Seem like they forgetting that I'm human. Assuming that I don't need solitude and solace. Before I choose violence, I meditate and pray. I went for a walk. I heard the elders say,
Set yourself down and talk to God. Tell him what's on your mind.
I heard the elders say,
Set yourself down and talk to God. Tell him what's on your mind.
I heard the elders say, be still, be free, be real. Your life can change any minute, just let time reveal. I know they watching, waiting for me to fall off. The job saying I ain't got permission to call off. Well, I ain't going to work today, I'm working on me. People calling, I ain't talking phone, I'm D&D. She like, when am I gonna see you? When I'm done seeing me. It's easy for people to gaslight you if you out here living on E. It's time to fill up. You gotta deconstruct to reconstruct. It's time to build up. I took some hard blows, Lord knows it's time to heal up. No more looking down, nah, chest out, chin up. Life been moving so fast, before I crash, let me slow down and go on the fast. I'm passing on that old leaving that in the past. They ask, hey, where you been? I ain't seen you in the men. Yeah, I been on my ding, going deeper within, gotta evolve. Don't take it personal, you're more than welcome to get involved. If they ain't what you want, our connection, it might dissolve. What's in the way becomes the way. I went for a walk today, I heard the elders say,
Set yourself down and talk to God. Tell him what's on your mind.
I heard the elders say,
Set yourself down and talk to God. Tell him what's on your mind.
Mosaic. I heard the elders say,
Peace, be still my people. Let yourself feel, that's how you heal my people. Pollution in the food, they trying to kill my people. Health is real, wealth is how you build my people. Let's keep it real, my people. It's getting really scary. No more gang banging. We need a military, black missionary. I'm a visionary. I see my people rising. Every time I sit in silence.
Set yourself down and talk to God.
Heavenly Father,
Tell him what's on your mind.
I pray for my generation.
Set yourself down and talk to God.
I pray for my people.
Tell him what's on your mind.
I pray my people rise.
Set yourself down and talk to God.
I pray we free our minds.
Tell him what's on your mind.
I pray we find peace inside.
Set yourself down and talk to God. Tell them what's on your mind.
All right, all right. That was a little bonus track. And so with that being said, we won't wrap this up today. No quiz this week, no homework this week. Actually, I'm lying. There's just no slide for it. But there is no quiz, but there is homework. The homework this week is to be honest with yourself, right? Heal honestly, right? Really take the time to be aware of how you're feeling. We're gonna, be the awareness. Be the awareness. I'm gonna go back to that slide. Let me go. Be the awareness, right? Notice, question, reflect, and realign. Be the awareness. Notice, question, reflect, and realign. That is your assignment this week. Lead yourself through the growth process. Because again, especially if you're one of the strong ones, right? When you don't have the capacity for yourself, who else is going to do that? You do have to learn how to love up on yourself and lead yourself. All right, so self-awareness is that bridge that from healing to leadership. Healing yourself to leading yourself is through self-awareness. Put the heal on in the front of all of that, and they go, heal self, self-aware, lead self. And you are, right? I am. So be easy. I am excited. I'm just going to say this. I am embarking. I will tell you guys. I'll probably tell you about it next week. You know what? I probably will. I'll do a special for you guys next week. I'm starting a new journey myself. So I will share more details next week because, I don't really have time. I gotta go. And I really just wanna wrap this up and stay in this energy right here. I really appreciate everybody stopping by the podcast today. Again, Smart Video Girl, your host, does not have the capacity to give you what you needed, I guess, in the sense of showing up as she usually does. But this is what you needed today, because who said the leader had to be healed? And this is as real as it's going to get, because I cannot make these things up. I cannot make these things up. And I know that nothing that I go through, nothing that I feel, nothing that I am growing through is by mistake anyway. So I'm going to get off of this before I start crying again. And y'all will see something else that you don't want to see, that you don't need to see. All of it my business. All right. I love you guys. Smart Video Girl here. Check us out next week. I don't know what the topic is. If you are up, join me over on Pronoia Starcy Podcast. And you can learn something about me. You'll learn something about me. So it may be interesting. You may learn a little something that could be useful for you about me. All right. I love you guys. Peace out.